I'm a big fan of lists. Even right now, I'm just looking off a list of bullet points of all the stuff I want to talk about. Or shopping. I mean, I didn't invent shopping lists, but they really come in handy. I used to not use them until like the last 2 months. I've actually started thinking about what I should buy, and it makes me be a lot smarter with what I should buy because I'm not just walking by and going, "Ooh, Chex Mix. Ooh, cat litter." It's I think about the stuff I actually need because I'm here at the apartment and I write a list of like, "Oh, I'm actually out of cinnamon sugar pop tarts, so I should go buy some." Do you guys like cinnamon pop tarts? I think it's brown. What are they? Brown sugar cinnamon, the classic pop tart. Like if you get it out of a vending machine, that's the only kind they're gonna have. Let me tell you this game changer. If you get a brown sugar cinnamon pop tart, put butter on that puppy. Put some butter on that brown sugar pop tart. I don't recommend it with the strawberry pop tart or the chocolate fudge pop tart or the cookies and cream or the hot fudge or the birthday cake, but the cinnamon sugar pop tart with butter on it, you won't be sorry. Let me just tell you that. Let me also tell you another idea I have. The Big Mac Supreme. That's not the official name, but you buy a Big Mac, you take off the top bun, and you buy 10-piece nuggets, and you take two of those nuggets and stick them on top of the Big Mac, held in place with buffalo sauce. So you take the top bun off, put down buffalo sauce, put down two chicken nuggets, put the bun back on, and you eat it. And it is the most delicious thing I've ever eaten in my life. I don't know if that's true, but it's one of my favorite meals. It's disgusting. I wouldn't eat it more than once a month. I've done it more than once a month, but I wouldn't recommend doing it for health's sake. I'm sure if that guy did it supersize me, if he only ate those, he'd be dead after 2 weeks. But I just made it up, and it's freaking delicious. It's a total game changer. Back to my list idea. I have this theory that when you go to heaven, I'm hoping that it's not just like streets of gold and everyone's nice and you get to see your grandpa when he's still a 19-year-old or whatever. I want heaven to just be like all the information in the whole world. Or like you can go up there. I mean, I guess you could go, "Hey, did we ever figure out how to cure cancer? Like, do we know how to do that?" And then God or whoever, one of the saints, will just be like, uh, "You guys never figured it out, but it's really not that hard, dude. Everything's in the ocean." That's another theory I have that I stole from my old boss at work. He was like, "The ocean is like 70% of the earth. So to think that there's not a lot of information down there is just naive." And I believe him. Or at least I can see I can see what he's saying. I'm not sure if I believe him. I never thought about it. I don't care about the ocean. Why would I care about the ocean? I'm a human being. Yeah, you can go swim, but you can't live down there. I'm not going down there. Although I heard there are tribes in different places that are completely like water based and they can hold their breath for like 5 minutes. I don't know. Is that an evolution thing or they just choose to do that? That'd be weird. I think everyone came from the water at some point. Like the first organism, like as small as, you know, a cell, was from the water. Which explains why everyone in the desert's always in a bad mood. But back to heaven. I'm 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 curious if when you get to heaven, like I said, you just have all the information. Like I want to know the stuff like what's the hardest I ever laughed? And what's the thing I said or did that's made someone else laugh the hardest? And what is the biggest dump I ever took? Because every time I take a huge dump, I'm like, all right, that's got to be the one. That's the winner. because I'm old now, so I'm probably taking bigger ones. But I'm thinking I probably took a bigger one when I was like 13, I bet. Or after all these Big Mac Supremes, that was probably the biggest one I ever took. I don't know. I can't really keep track of it, and it's hard to. I mean, it's hard to get a feel, without actually feeling it. And I'm not going down that road. It's tough to just look at it and tell that that's the biggest dump you ever took. But I can tell you the longest pee I ever took. I was on a flight to New Mexico, visiting my sister, and I had to pee the entire flight. But I was in the middle seat. There was 3 seats, and I was in the middle seat. And my brother was at the window seat to my left, and there was a big fat guy to my right, who I didn't know. And he had his tray table down, like working on a proposal or something. So I had to pee like halfway through this flight, but I didn't want to bother this guy because I didn't want him to just be like these freaking 13-year-old, or I guess I was like 18, but these freaking kids just can't hold their pee like I could back in my day. So I'm not going to let him go. So I was nervous he wouldn't even let me up, so I wasn't even going to bother asking. And then finally I'm ready to get up. I'm like, all right, you know what? I can't hold it anymore. I've drank an entire bottle of water, at least, and I got to go to the bathroom. And as soon as I'm about to, which who knows if I actually was going to get up. Maybe I'm just trying to justify why this story was against me. But, I mean, obviously some of it's my fault for not getting up. But I was finally prepared to get up. I couldn't hold it any longer. And the bell rings and they go, all right, ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. We're going to be landing in about a half an hour. Or whatever the heck they say. And I was like, all right, well, I got to get up right now. Because, I mean, like, the first 2 minutes of the whole half-hour seatbelt thing must be on is, come on, I don't need my seatbelt on in the first 2 minutes. They just want to make sure I'm prepared to crash land or whatever. So I'm like, hey, I need to go to the bathroom real quick. And so I finally asked the guy, yeah, hey, I need to go to the bathroom real quick. And then this guy, who I've never met in my life, decided it was time to be my father. And he goes, no, sorry, seatbelt lights on, can't let you go. I was just like, are you like, I gotta go. And he's like, those are the rules. I'm not very confrontational in general, but this guy was like twice my age and twice my size. The last thing I need to do is get in a fight on a plane, especially before Corona. But what I wouldn't give to go back now. I guess it'd be worse with Corona. But regardless, this guy's keeping me in my seat. I'm just like, you gotta be kidding. You're a real butt munch, my friend. I hope you know you just cost the life of an 18-year-old. I hope that sits well in your conscience. So I'm sitting there, and I know we have at least another half an hour, and I have to pee so bad that I can't hold it. So I'm looking around the plane, looking for like water bottles, and the guy in the seat behind me has a big Deer Park bottle for like truckers, and I was completely ready to take out my wallet and say, look, here's $10. Can you give me that water bottle? You'll never see it again, but I need it. I need to use the bathroom. And if the guy next to me was going to be like, whoa, man, what are you doing? What are you peeing all over the seats? I would have just said, I'm sorry, friendo. This is the bed you made. Now you got to lie in it. I was perfectly content with going in the airplane bathroom, but you seem to have a problem with it. You were the one who didn't want to let me go, so now this is what we got to do. What, you think just because I'm not going to the bathroom means I don't have to go? No. I'm sitting here feeling like a water balloon that's about to pop, my friend. So finally, so nothing happens. I have to hold my pee for 30 minutes. We finally land, and I mean, of course you land. You can't just get up and leave right away. They have to taxi or whatever, or get the one, the freaking terminal. Is that the word? Like right up to the door. So I'm like, all right, it's already been a half an hour. It's probably going to be another 20 minutes before I can get into the airport. So I stand up on the plane. People are standing up, like, ready for their bags and stuff, but no one's allowed off. But I stand up and I'm in the front of the plane, and I'm staring like at the back, where obviously where the bathroom is, and I'm just like, can I make it? Can I make it? There's too many people in the aisle. Like, I don't want to just walk back there, and I don't want people to think that I'm just like, doing my own thing. Where I don't understand airplane. What's the word? Airplane ethics. The way you're supposed to act at a certain place. The airplane, whatever. The rules. So I just decided to wait. But people standing there were like, all right, this kid, obviously, he's either eyeing up my wife or he's eyeing up the bathroom. I'm going to go with the latter, hopefully. So that's what they were thinking. And then some lady was like, hey, if you need to go to the bathroom, just go. So I sprinted to the bathroom. Everyone obviously is looking at me because it's not like anyone's listening to an audiobook or watching their favorite Showtime classic. Everyone's just standing up looking at the front of the plane. And I'm at the front of the plane ready to run to the back. So I run to the back, open the door. Everyone knows I'm in there. And I unleashed the beast, my friend. My friends. I gotta quit saying that. I say that every other sentence. I unleashed the beast. I peed for, I think it was about at least 2 minutes. And it was insane. And I mean, I guess like in all it was probably like a minute and a half. But then in the end, like when you're completely full of pee, you get like to the 3/4 of the end, and then it's just like psst, 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 psst. Maybe that is just me, but it's a complete flow. And then in the end, it just stops. But like you still pee, and you just like push it out. So I got it up to like 2.5 minutes or something. But it was the craziest I ever felt. It was the most I ever wanted to beat up a 40-year-old, because he could have cost me my life. Speaking of pee, here's another note I got here. Pools are done, right? Now that Corona's a thing, I mean, I can't imagine pools are going to be the same. And not just saying like, oh, every pool's going to close. Like, I'm sure pools are going to stay open and pools are going to be a thing, but sorry. Too much butter on my Pop-Tart, I'm choking. But the people that go to the pools, oh my lord, the people that go to the pools, sorry, I got the Corona, and just the way people act at pools, like even if you have to wear a mask at a pool or something like that, which is ridiculous. It's full of chlorine. So even if you have Corona, it's gonna be killed, right? I mean, that's why we buy Lysol wipes. That's just my theory. I also don't think Corona's real. But I can't imagine people are gonna want to go to the pool willingly, especially a public pool where you're just around people you don't know, and then you go swallow a bunch of water. It's already got pee in it. We already knew that, but no. Corona? I don't think pools are going to be the same. I don't think anything's going to be the same. But obviously, I'm not breaking any new ground here when I say, hey guys, I know Corona's been around since March, but I'm starting to think that it's actually going to have an effect on America. But I will say, just because I know, my apartment complex is building a swimming pool for people, and they started building it like last year, and then now it's just like, I don't know about you guys, but that's going to be disgusting. Not to mention everyone at this apartment's ugly. But yeah, I'd like to know at least what's not just, hey, until Corona's over, what things are going to be different, but like once Corona is over, what's going to be different after? Like, are people going to always wear masks? Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, hey, you work at McDonald's, you should just always wear a mask. Because you're talking to people and it just cuts down. Like this, you have to wear gloves. I'm sure when people started, they weren't wearing gloves, but then they were like, you have diarrhea on your hands, so could you please put a glove on? And now people are like, hey, you have diarrhea in your mouth. Metaphorical diarrhea. I mean, that's disgusting, but you got the Corona in your mouth and in your lungs, so can you please wear a mask? So I would understand that. It would be a nuisance. I think masks are... I mean, I don't get me wrong. I wear them. I'm not one of these people that don't wear masks. Like, because if I go to Giant, like the grocery store, and they have a sign that says masks are required to enter our business, I just think, okay, masks are required, so I will wear a mask. Otherwise, I am not allowed in the store. The same way they say, like, hey, pants are required. So if you're not wearing pants, you can't come in the store. That's a rule that everyone follows. Like, I'm sure when you're at your house, you don't wear pants. Right now, I'm not wearing a shirt nor underwear. But when I go to Giant, I get in my Sunday best, and I'm certainly wearing a pair of Fruit of the Looms when I walk in there. And now I got to wear a pair of Fruit of the Looms on my face. So I don't understand how people are just like, and I didn't want to become one of these people that are just like, come on, those are the rules, everybody. Why are we breaking the rules? But when it's a private company making the rule, I don't understand why people don't follow that. I'm not with it when the government's like, hey, if you're in a public park alone at 3 a.m, you got to be wearing your mask. I'm like, all right, that's a little stepping on people's toes here. But this is a grocery store saying, look, I'm sorry, but these are the rules for our business. If we had a sign that said you have to have face tattoos and walk around on 1 foot, and people didn't do that and they kicked them out, they'd be like, the company shouldn't be looked down on. It's like, no, I was going to say my friend, but I ain't going to say that. No, my customer. You knew the rules when you walked in here on 1 foot. And it's like at FedEx, we have to wear masks. And even when Corona's over, I feel like we'll just have to keep wearing them. Because if people are just like, well, if it cuts down on the amount of germs that are spread, why wouldn't we take those precautions? I don't want that to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised. Now, I could see that happening just from a business standpoint of like, hey, we don't want to be culpable when it comes to getting our customers sick. Speaking of FedEx, look, I know I work for them and they pay me very nicely and they have some good hours. But I got posters, like I said, when I was playing with thumbtacks in the last 2 episodes. They're supposed to be coming. They were supposed to get here on the 12th. Today is the 15th. And they're still not here. They shipped on the 8th. So what is the deal? They said FedEx. They said in Pennsylvania. Or they shipped from Ohio to Pennsylvania, coming to Pennsylvania. They said, hey, they're in Ohio. Oh, hey, they just got to Pennsylvania. Oh, they're in another town in Pennsylvania, getting even closer to you. And then I looked at the transit history again, and it goes, all right, they're in West Virginia. And I was like, oh, okay, well, what? Why are they in West Virginia? And now they don't even have a date available for like what the expected shipping date is. It just says delivery pending, whereas it used to say delivery expected 9/12. But now they're in West Virginia, and then they're like, yeah, we don't know when the hell these are going to get to you. So that's annoying. And I had an order of 4 posters, two a Dumb and Dumber and a Pulp Fiction, and then 2 posters of pictures I took myself that I had printed out, and I was going to hang on my wall. And those ones didn't even ship. I think just because they're custom, but they haven't. I mean, it's been a week and a half, and they still haven't shipped. Or originally they said they should be expected by, I think, the 14th. But they haven't even shipped, which I guess is good to mean they haven't gotten lost in the mail, but also, come on, let's get on this. Allposters.com for all your poster needs. So yeah, FedEx, I'd like to know who the heck's running the show down in West Virginia and who thought it'd be a good idea. Hey, bring those over here too. Hey, Pennsylvania, bring those 2 packages over here. No, come on, these are supposed to go to Pennsylvania. No, we want them. No, you're gonna lose them. No, we're not gonna. Come on, we're gonna lose them. When have we ever done that? And now look, they're lost. Someone has them. But I know the way they run things at FedEx, and I'm guessing it's not that different in West Virginia than how it is here. They're probably smashed and destroyed. Someone probably punched a hole in it when they were angry. Someone probably got fired and peed all over it. And they're like, oh yeah, we misplaced that package. I don't know where it is. I know where it is. It's the bottom of the dumpster. Don't tell me. What's your guys' shower routine? Over the summer, I would wake up, get a shower, go to work, get a shower again from work. And I'd fall asleep from work after just getting showered and then wake up and take another shower. And it hit me. I realized, finally, how useless that was. Because I would wake up and I would feel greasy, quote unquote. I'd feel like I had grease all over me. But I realized I just had like grease on my face. So all I had to do was wash my face. Not that I didn't do that in the shower, but I could do it at the sink. Like, I have face wash and stuff. I would just wake up and wash just my face, and then I realized, like, oh, I'm just as clean as when I went to bed. So there's not really, sorry if you heard my phone vibrate. There's not any reason for me to be getting an entire another shower. I just cleaned the bottom of my feet yesterday. What was I sleeping on a bed made out of mud? Was I sleeping in a pigsty? A pig pen? No, I was sleeping on my bed. And if it's that dirty, Harrison, you got to do your laundry. So I've changed my not. It's not a special schedule, but I changed my shower schedule to just waking up, washing my face, then going to work, getting all sweaty, putting in those man hours, really getting buff, and then coming home and showering off all the sweat and grime from work, and then going to bed clean, and then I wake up clean. You don't get dirty when you're sleeping. You might sweat, your face might get a little greasy. Just wash your face, baby. You're not dirty. So what do you guys? Do you guys take 2 showers a day? I used to, and even before FedEx, I used to wake up, get a shower, go to school, come home, come home, whatever, work, and then get a shower right before bed, which was ridiculous. I can't believe I even have on my skin. Actually, I might not. I think I might be down to just the second and third layer right now. Which also, which one's the first layer? Is the first layer the one touching your muscles? And the second layer is obviously the middle layer. And then is the third one the one on the outside, or is that the first one? I don't know. There's a lot of anatomical questions that I can't answer because I don't know anything about anatomy. Although I will say, some news from last week about stuff I do know is I'm looking more and more into being a teacher, like I kind of said, but I've actually, I've emailed, just to give you some insight in my life, I've emailed some old teachers. I've researched the schools that offer the major I want to do, secondary education, be a high school teacher. And I think I have to get my major in secondary education, and then I'll specialize in English, and then also trying to get like certified in other areas, whether it's math, which I can't teach calculus, but maybe I could teach like pre-calc or trigonometry if they're just saying like, hey, sine and cosine. Like, I get all that. If the school's like, hey, we're the school board, this is exactly what you need to teach the kids, I'm just like, all right, I'll do it. I gotta learn it first. I gotta go watch a Khan Academy video, but I'll be able to tell these kids what to learn, and then I'll make the tests. I could do that. I just can't teach calculus. Or maybe I'll be like a graphics teacher. I was emailing my graphics teacher, and he was like, I love my job because graphics is an elective course. It's not required by the school, whereas English, like, the school tells you everything that you need to have the kids know. What's the word? Curriculum? The school tells you the curriculum, whereas with graphics, you can just make up whatever you want. It obviously has to be useful for the kids, but you make the tests. You make the projects where you're like, this is our litmus test to see that you know what you're doing. Because a litmus test is a stupid metaphor. It's just a test. When you're talking about in school. But yeah, I'm looking into it for show. I think a lot of my classes will transfer that I didn't realize would, and not necessarily changing schools, but just from a math major to an English major. 2 years in, I thought was going to be a bigger deal, where I figured I'd be like a year behind, but I think I'm going to be on the same timeline, because when I look at the classes, let's see if I even have them put up here. When I look at the classes for like what's required for secondary education, it's just a lot of the same gen eds I took freshman year, and then just like, it just says mathematics class, physics or science class, and I'm like, well, I've already taken I'm on my 4th math class right now. I took pre-calc, calc 1, linear algebra in calc 2, and I already took chem and physics, so I should be set on all those gen eds. And then just all the other crap. Like, I took my English class, I took my speech class, took my movie class, I took a graphics class. I guess I'm rambling here about stuff that might not be interesting, other than it's the last 10 minutes of the episode, so I figured I'd give you more of an insight to my life, other than just rambling into the microphone about why I think public pools are gross. But I'm actually paying attention to what I want to do now, instead of just going, I like engineering, so I'll just be an engineer. And who knows, maybe I'll stick with engineering, but for right now, the classes I'm in right now are all engineering, so it's not like I'd be behind if I stayed. But I'm looking more into it, and I just want to actually know that that's what I want to do before I change my major. So I'm just giving it serious thought. But for right now, it looks like that's what I'm going to stick with, because that would be fun. And I like talking to people, so I can't see myself being an engineer and just sitting in an office and just going, the only people I talk to are like the higher ups or my employees. Like, it's not the same as, like, obviously I'm not saying engineers go in and they just are in solitary confinement. Oh, what am I supposed to not talk to anybody? No, I know I'll talk to people. But I feel like as a teacher I'd get more out of talking to people and just have a better vibe, like actually having like a group of people to talk to influence, and not give them all my weird ideas like how I'm telling you guys, but just like to be the one in charge of, like, this is the fun stuff and I'll teach you guys what you need to know. Don't worry, I was a cool fun guy back in my high school days, so I'll make sure I know what you guys are like. I know what high schoolers are like. I couldn't teach elementary school because I don't even remember what elementary school was like for me. So I can't go in there and be like, nah, you know what? They were not. I was a nice third grader. And then I go in and there's paper airplanes getting thrown. Someone's throwing a spitball. Someone's giving someone a noogie in the back and an Indian burn. I guess you probably can't say Indian burn. But, hurting each other, pulling hair, chewing gum under the desk. For high school, especially senior, I don't know. I don't want to even deal with freshmen, because even they're like, they just get to school and they like think they're cool. So the kids will like screw with the teachers and be like, poke on the back with like a sharpened pencil or something and be like, oh, see, Chelsea, look, I'm cool, I'm dangerous. And then Chelsea's like, oh my gosh, Derek, you are dangerous. And then I'm just like, oh, my back, you stabbed me in the back. And then I punch a kid in the face, and then I get in trouble. And that's not what I want. I feel like seniors are like, look, we just want to get out of here. Teach me what I need to know, and I'll get out of here. And I'm like, that's fine with me, my friend. I can't say my friend, though. That's fine with me, my student. Just prove it to me on the final. I don't care if you never show up. I'm completely ranting now. I'm just making up scenarios about what teaching's going to be like when I've never taught a day in my life. But I think I'll have a lot of fun. I might have to take this section out in case any schools are trying to research me in the future, and they're like, what would this guy be like as a teacher? And then the only time I ever talk about teaching is like, yeah, I'm probably gonna punch a kid in the face, and I don't like young kids because they chew on each other or something like that. So, thanks a lot, of course, for coming into episode 3. Hopefully we find our niche here. There's a couple of you that seem to be sticking around for every ep, which is very nice. And slowly but surely, I'm guessing we'll get back to the swing of things. Of course, I have to tell you the word of the day, because I forgot to tell you. Speaking of song of the day, I can't do that anymore because I even made a joke last week, like, hey, I gotta say the song of the day real quick, but I can only play a second or YouTube will copyright me. Well, I played it for like 5 seconds, and YouTube already copyrighted me. The word today is obsequious. This isn't even in my list. It's just one of my favorite words, but let me look it up real quick so I'm actually giving you the direct definition. But the word is obsequious. It's an adjective describing obedient or attentive to an excessive or servile degree. They were served by obsequious waiters. And it's just people that are like you could say, the audience to Jimmy Fallon's show is obsequious, because even though it's not funny, they're like, oh my God, this is hilarious. Oh my God, Jimmy, that was comedy gold, baby. That monologue, that was perfect. Obsequious. Go out about your day and use that word in a sentence. And of course, I'll see you on Thursday with episode 4 of White Coffee. Have a great day.